What's up, everybody? We're back.
Yeah! Hey, welcome back to A Metalhead's Journey. Hey, we're continuing our trek down the top 50 metal albums of all time. We have arrived at number 7. This is our not favorite of the top 4 thrash metal bands. It's not our second favorite. It's maybe not even our third favorite. It's Slayer. We're here to talk about Rain and Blood. What, Dave?
Yeah.
Look, you're leading the show here.
What? Dude, I'm telling you, look, those last 2 Anthrax albums put this over Slayer for me.
Okay.
By a mile. But hey, we're not here to talk about how superior Anthrax is to Slayer. We're here to talk about Slayer's magnum opus, the best album they ever released, so they say, Rain and Blood. You ready to hop in here?
Ready.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Quick review of the band, and then we'll hop right into the metal rundown. Slayer, formed in 1981, is an American thrash metal band from Huntington Park, California. The band was formed by guitarists Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman, Dave Lombardo on drums, and Tom Araya on bass and vocals. Slayer is known as one of the big 4 in thrash metal, along with Anthrax, Megadeth, and Metallica. You see how I put those in order of greatness. The band's lyrics cover topics such as serial killers, torture, genocide, organized crime, occultism, terrorism, religion or anti-religion, fascism, racism, and war have generated album bans, delays, lawsuits, and criticism from religious groups. Slayer has released 12 studio albums, including their most recent record, Repentless, which came out in 2015. They've sold 20 million records worldwide and have won 2 Grammys. Rain and Blood, released in 1986, is the band's 3rd studio album. The album was received well by fans and critics. The album peaked at number 94 on the Billboard charts. This is the album that brought Slayer to the mainstream. It is often mentioned among the greatest heavy metal records of all time. This was their first album produced by Rick Rubin and the first one released on Def Jam Records. The album featured 2 singles, Postmortem and Criminally Insane.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get into musicality. I'll go first here. So, I'm sure most of you guys probably have not been with us on this entire Metalhead's journey. Just for some context, there was a previous or another version of the Metalhead's journey back on our old channel that was a little bit more of a pop culture base, where we decided to start doing this and kind of just led to this channel. But anyway, we started off one because we're all, I'll do this for some fans out there. We were all metalheads. But we were kind of closed off to the world. So we decided, hey, let's do a channel or let's do a thing where we listen to all the Megadeth records, right? Because we are always very big Metallica fans and we are always very anti-Megadeth for the most part. So anyway, once we got a little bit deep into the Megadeth list, we're like, why don't we just do the whole big 4, right? Because we never really listened to them either. So it took us down a Slayer path. So we have covered this record before. That's a very long-winded way of saying that. So, but that was a different time where we were doing 3 or 4 albums in one night. So it was a much more compact review of it. So tonight will be a little bit more comprehensive. But
Love it.
It was good to be able to revisit the record after, I don't know, it feels like it's about a year and some change.
Yeah.
It was good to be able to revisit the record. I feel like the record showed up on the list definitely in a good moment after that Power Slave Iron Maiden record.
Debacle.
Yeah, because this was certainly a breath of fresh air compared to that. For me, I just feel like this is like just the riffs and everything on here. It's brutal. That's what I kept coming back to. This is a brutal record, man.
Yes.
There's some all-time great riffs on the album. Going through and looking at some of the track listing and the songwriting credits. For me, Jeff Hanneman is the more specific MVP of the record because he gets sole writing credit of 2 of my 3 top tracks. The guitars. I know this is maybe a repeat of our last video, but the guitars continue to just be really the MVP for me here. And the biggest criticism, it's not the vocals entirety, it's the word vomit vocal style. There's a couple of songs where it's just like, man, he's just cramming a lot of words in there in one sentence. And it's a little too much. But I love Tom Araya. And if I was building like a big 4 super group, I would have Tom Araya as my singer, personally. So I love Tom Araya. I just don't like that particular part when he does that. But that's the only criticism. Other than that, dude, this album's fucking brutal. I love it.
Yeah. I'll jump in here. So the first time through this record, when we did it a year and a half ago. I just wasn't in the right headspace, or it was a bad week for me, or whatever. But I didn't appreciate this record as much as I should have. This go around was very different. I enjoyed this record very much. Maybe due to, like Josh said, coming from Iron Maiden Power Slave, a much slower record in comparison to this one. This is 29 minutes of pure, just fast thrash metal. I loved it from start to finish. I agree with Josh. The guitars kind of steal the show. Dave Lombardo he's a human drum machine. The guy's an animal. The bass is, I don't know where it is. It's
somewhere on the album.
It's somewhere. And
Allegedly.
That might be more to do with the production, but Tom Araya still shines through because he's the vocalist as well. So, man, 10 tracks, most of which are under 3 minutes. It's good. I thoroughly enjoyed myself this time. So musically, I thought it was spot on.
I'll jump in. I had some issues coming back to this. I was looking forward, actually, to checking this out because
Jason did this album with us back then, just for some clarity. The only one he's never really done with us was the original run of Megadeth albums.
Yeah. So I was actually looking forward to visiting this album this time around because now I've been on this voyage of these last 40 other albums of metal. And so I was like, okay, so maybe
it's a journey,
this time
Jason.
around, this journey, maybe this time,
stay on brand.
This time, maybe I'll appreciate it more. Maybe I'll like the. No, I didn't. I just didn't. In fact, I liked it less.
Damn.
I know, and it's just the vocals. It's just the word vomit stuff. I can tune it out better than the some recent stuff that we've listened to, but it's still there. And to Josh's point, like there was one that we did before where I actually counted there was 130 words in like 60 seconds or 30 seconds. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
I fucking love this album. I love the vocals. I love the word vomit. I love that style. I love that you say it's brutal. Yes, it is, and that's why I fucking love it so much.
It is brutal, I will say.
Shut your ass up, man. I mean brutal in like a good way.
Oh.
I have two controversial takes here. I think Slayer, and this album is the proof, they have the best riffs in the thrash game. Like, the other bands don't come close.
Is this like in an alternate universe where Megadeth and Metallica don't exist?
That's incorrect. I think Megadeth and Metallica are better songwriters. Absolutely better songwriters. But no, I think best riff writers, Slayer, or Jeff Hanneman, actually. And I think the guitar solos, I think they're fucking legendary.
Stunned silence.
Yeah. They're great.
All right. Yeah,
they're great.
So, yeah. Let's go into entertainment value, right?
Yeah, Adrian, why don't you take us into the next one? That was a very entertaining comment.
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and expand on that.
Please.
Yes. I don't think any other type of guitar solos would fit these songs. I don't think any other type of guitar solos would fit the vibe of this album at all. There are some parts, like at the end of Rain and Blood, that are just like, well, now we're just trying to be loud and obnoxious. But I mean, other than that, I think it's what sets the riffs and the style of guitar solos is what sets Slayer apart from everybody. And you know what? Honestly, that is not easy shit to play. It is not easy shit. What they're doing, it's not easy.
Yeah, look, stylistically, for sure, it separates them. But it's, I don't know. Like, I just don't, when I think of guitar solos, and I mean, let's just like focus in on the big four here. I think they're easily the worst of the four when it comes to quality of guitar solo.
I think I agree with you, Josh, and I don't even think it's remotely close.
Dude, there's not even like one memorable Anthrax guitar solo. Like, There's not one.
We're just asking for downvotes at this point. Like we're just begging for
Name
them.
one. Name one, bro.
Look,
The wings.
I mean,
Well,
basically
I'm not
pick any solo, and then that's probably better than any solo off this record.
false.
I
Shit
mean-
take. Eat my boogers, Dave.
Eat my bookers. I love that. Look, I was gonna say I agree with Adrian though from a stylistic perspective, as far as setting themselves apart, and as far as fitting the music. Oh, 100. I mean, like, there's no room in these songs for a 30-minute epic, sweeping guitar solo, right? Like that just doesn't that doesn't fit in these songs. There's literally not enough time. So, just to Adrian's point, like I agree, like it fits the mold.
I'll say this: I thoroughly enjoy the first 30 seconds of every Slayer song on almost every album, and I mean this. Like I love the music side of Slayer. It's just I cannot stand the vocal side of it, and joking aside, like brutal in the sense of it's like just heavy as shit is an accurate statement. But for me, like the vocals, I just can't get past it. So while I do have some enjoyment from the musicianship and the that side or that aspect of it, it's just some of these songs, the vocals they kill me.
Look, dude, nobody does the thrash vocal better than Tom Araya, in my opinion. Like,
I agree.
It's like because he's not singing by any means, right? But it's clearly more talent and there's more to it than what some of his other contemporaries were doing at the time. Violence. So it's like there's more to like what's going on there, and like even like Angel of Mercy, dude, like that loud, that super high pitched scream he's got in there.
Angel of Death.
Angel of Death. I'm
You
sorry.
said Angel of Mercy.
My bad. Angel of Death. But like, yeah, on Angel of Death, like that super high scream on there, dude, that's super impressive.
Yep. So top tracks.
You should hear him do it live.
Mm.
It's not impressive.
I've seen them live.
Adrian, what's your top tracks on here?
Oh, cool. Here we go. So number 3, I got Altar of Sacrifice, underrated Slayer song. Number 2, Rain in Blood, great fucking closer. And I guess it's the title track, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ish. And then number 1, come on, man. Of course, Angel of Death. Fucking bridge riff, fucking greatest fucking thrash riff of all time. Don't at me, bro.
Get out of here. I'll go. Honorable mention for me. I went for Piece by Piece. It's a cool track. Number 3, Epidemic. Number 2, Raining Blood. And number 1, Postmortem. I fucking love Postmortem. That's on my all-time list. On my all-time like playlist. So oddly enough, the last 3 tracks of the album. So I don't know.
We have some different tracks here. My my number 3 is Raining Blood, the title track, last track. Really, really good. Surprised I haven't heard this from either one of you. Number 2 is Jesus Saves. The middle, yeah, March to the Kingdom of the Damned. I love the song. It's a great song. Middle track of the record. And number 1 is Angel of Death. I mean, get out of here. It's amazing. It's an amazing track. The longest track on the record, and it's not even 5 minutes.
I feel like when I jam that song, my power level increases.
All right, so my top 3. Number 3, Raining Blood. Number 2, Postmortem, and number 1, Altar of Sacrifice.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
There we go.
It's a good one.
All right. Hey, like we talked about at the top of this thing, this is their first album that was produced by Rick Rubin. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So what do you guys think about the production? I'm assuming we listened to some version of a remaster.
Yeah. I mean, it's I mean, it doesn't have bass really.
Yep.
But I feel like that was almost by design.
What's with that era? Like, what's with that era and just like not having the fucking bass present? Like, what's going on, man? Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise the record.
That's when they knew how to make good albums.
No, false.
that
I
is
mean,
so-
songwriting was at an all-time high, sure, but production was just fucking.
like
yeah,
guitar's good, drums good. like that's
Bass bad.
yeah, bass bad. Turn it down.
Yeah, production value is fine.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, we'll move into the last category here. This is legacy. This is where we like to give our scores for the album. And just for some context, we understand that a lot of other videos and publications out there may give their average score as a 7. Our average score here is actually a 5. So for our scores, anything we give below a 5, that's various levels that we would not recommend you listen to that. Anything above a 5, that's various levels that we would recommend you listen to it. And anything obviously 9 to 10 is just all-time classic record, right? So, like I said, we do have a little bit of a cheat sheet to go off of from our previous scores here. I'll go first. Listening to this record, while I feel like maybe I enjoyed it a little bit more because it came after that abomination that was Power Slave. I'm going to come in at the same score for this. I think I scored it properly the first time. I'm coming back at a 7.6.
All right. Adrian, what you got?
Dave, I'm curious. What was my score last time?
So
Do you have that up?
I do. I have it right here. You were at an 8.2.
I feel like it's going up.
Oh, definitely. I'm at an 8.8.
Oh, okay.
It's you.
So what do you think? I'm sorry, Dave, not to cut you off and drag this thing out longer. What do you attribute that increase in score to? What do you think?
Probably coming off of Power Slave. Let's be real here.
That's not the full name. It's the abomination known as Power Slave going forward.
There you go. Just popping it in, and it just like bringing me to life as it came on. I just fucking love this album, and I sat there and had this conversation with myself, debating if this was in my top 10 greatest albums of all time.
Is this in the top 10? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't come up with an answer, but other than it's definitely top 20 of all time. So yeah, 8.8 for me.
All right. And both of you, do you think it belongs on the list?
Fuck yeah.
All right. I'll go next here. So originally, I had this I scored pretty bad. I had it at a 6.3. I just didn't. I didn't get it at the time. I don't know what I forget what the circumstances were. I think we were
listening to 4 Slayer records at a time.
We were listening to 4 Slayer records and then 4 Anthrax records.
You were really into South of Heaven, though. I think that was probably detrimental to your enjoyment score.
So I've woken up, right? Like Adrian was brought to life. I've woken up and realized that this record is actually legit. So I'm coming all the way up to an 8 on this record.
Wow.
I think this record is fantastic. I don't know what the hell I was thinking the first go around, but this record is absolutely very, very good. I could pretty much put this on any time and would actively do so.
It's just so satisfying.
I know what was wrong, Dave. You were right the first time.
Incorrect. Jason, what is your terrible take?
What was my score last time? 5 point.
The score last time was an 8.7. So
it
below that.
It was a 5.7.
All right.
Damn. Woof.
I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. I was really looking forward to this re-listen, if you want to call it that, based on the fact that I felt like over this journey that we had been on, that maybe musical taste had changed somewhat. And as soon as I put this in, I was like, here we go. And I liked it less. So I'm going to revise my score down from a 5.7 to a 5.2. I just think that there are other Slayer albums that I like way better than this album.
Dave, did you see that? Because he told us before we started he was going to go 5.4, but he was anticipating your 8.
Yeah.
So he adjusted it just to screw it just a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
I wonder how much that gyps it like beating like whatever album.
So I want to bring this up because prior to Jason's score, this was an A tier record, which I think it deserves.
I agree.
It is no longer an A tier record according to us. That score bumped it to B tier status.
B plus.
Well,
huh?
is it a B plus at least?
It is 0.1 away from A tier
Damn.
for us.
So close. It's
7
almost
point,
like I knew-
7.4. So 7.5 is A tier for us because of how we do our scaling. So
Yeah. What albums is it like? Did it narrowly miss beating an album because of
so it lost to Holy Divers Dio. It lost.
Good
one.
It lost to Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, even though Jason tried to ruin that one as well.
That's fair.
It just. This is a travesty. Okay, Adrian's gonna be upset. Adrian,
Hell.
this is 0.03 lower score than Metallica's Kill 'Em All.
Whoa.
Nice job, Jason. Way to be.
Thank you.
Wait,
Hey,
what's
look.
my kill 'em all score so I can adjust it?
5.5.
Oh my god.
Damn. Take that, Jason.
Wow.
That's pretty bad.
All right, so there we go.
Hey, I hope you guys liked the video here. If you did, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're putting out weekly metal content right now. We got metal reactions, metal reviews. Sometimes we have metal time machines, and then other cool shit. And in the meantime, live long and prosper.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.
Later.